Can you do this? As early as your 40s, you may lose muscle and strength. Protein supports muscle health. Ensure Max Protein has 30 grams of high-quality protein to feed your muscles up to 7 hours. So take the challenge. Ensure.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News for Friday, May 1. I am Carrie Simpson. Here's what we have in the bulletin. One dead and another injured following Mandela Highway shooting. Reconstruction works progressing at Black River Hospital. And later in sports, 5-time Olympic champion Elaine Thompson-Herah ready to compete at World Relays. Thank you for joining us. Now the details. Up first this afternoon, 2 men were ambushed and shot, one fatally, by men traveling on a motorcycle along the Mandela Highway in St. Catherine this morning. One of the victims is the operator of a service station in Spanish Town. It's reported that about 7:15, the 2 men were in a Ford van at the stoplight in the vicinity of the Portmore entrance when men on a motorcycle drove up to the driver's window. The pillion rider pulled a firearm and fired several shots into the vehicle, hitting both men. Their attackers escaped. Now, the shooting caused a traffic snare for over 2 hours as crime scene investigators processed the scene. Now, we'll have more on this developing story in Primetime News at 7. Residents and taxi operators in Cave Mountain staged a peaceful protest this morning along the Cave Main Road over poor road conditions. Details in this report. And we apologize for the absence of that story. Continuing the news. Several persons were injured in a 2-vehicle crash along the Goshen Main Road in St. Elizabeth this morning. Police say the incident happened about 6:30 and is believed to have been caused by speeding and improper overtaking. Reports are that a Toyota Hilux traveling from Gutters towards Santa Cruz attempted to overtake a line of traffic, including a tractor-trailer, when it collided with an oncoming Toyota Voxy heading towards Mandeville. Now, a student and an elderly woman were among those seriously injured and were taken to hospital along with other passengers. Both drivers escaped unharmed. Reconstruction at the Black River Hospital is advancing months after Hurricane Melissa battered St. Elizabeth. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, who toured the facility on Thursday, says majority or major structural work is now underway.
Work at Black River Hospital is now focused on roofing and slab installation to strengthen the facility against future storms. This follows damage caused by Hurricane Melissa in October 2025. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton toured the site on Thursday and gave this update.
I think Black River Hospital is well advanced over the next 6 to 8 weeks to be fully commissioned, at least for ward space, close to 150 beds, which will take pressure off Mandeville and certainly Sablamar in some cases, and Spaldings and so on. So I'm happy to report that the health team is working, the region is working, and the parish of Black River is making good progress as part of Melissa Reconstruction. Final point is that we are doing an ecological study to look at the location of our health facilities. And so there may be additional major renovation, rebuild for the final resilient phase.
Male and female wards are also being completed with capacity projected at about 150 beds by the end of June.
So another 2 months or so. Construction is well in progress. They're about to put the metal roofing and then the slab, which will also protect it from future hurricanes. So it's a much stronger facility, infrastructure. And then, of course, the operating theatre is to be commissioned within 2 weeks. That's a big achievement. The 2 operating theatres are now installing lights and other finishes, which means that we can now do surgeries right here at Black River in the original building, but new and improved, and that's very positive.
Dr. Tufton says overall about 500 million Jamaican dollars is being spent on repairs and rebuilding across the parish.
The next phase will be to look at the maternity ward. So there will have to be a provision for the maternity ward in the original building until we rebuild that, and the administrative structure. Also, we did, the team, of course, did the staff quarters, and the staff quarters are now ready. They may need to use some of the staff quarters for outpatient services, the rest of staff to occupy.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
In the meantime, Dr. Tufton gave an update on health centers across St. Elizabeth.
So we do expect by the end of May, early June, for all 23 health centers to be back up. I'm told that just about 80% or a little above that of patients are back in at the primary facilities. We are going to have to work harder, the community health aides, primary healthcare team, to get citizens of the parish to come back out to their health centers. We understand the trauma that they have been through, but we don't want them to neglect their chronic illnesses, their screening opportunities, their access to drugs. So I want to use the opportunity to encourage that, and that's a challenge that I've set for the parish team here. We have to go out into communities and spend some time to just encourage the mothers, the children, the daughters and the grandparents to come back to their health centers.
And we go back to an earlier story where residents and taxi operators in Cave Mountain staged a peaceful protest along the Cave Main Road this morning over poor road conditions.
As they chant, they don't really care about us. With placards in hands, residents and taxi operators took to the Cave Main Road as they air their frustration. Among them, bad roads and a lack of water. They say for 20 years, they've been enduring the hellish conditions. Motorists told TVJ News that they are frustrated.
Dayton Campbell, Dwayne Vaz. We needed to come and remember that there's a community called Cave. It's on the map. So look it up. It's on the South Coast. We have this lush, beautiful community. We have our houses and we have our children and we are frustrated. We are very frustrated and we are fed up and we are stressed.
We are dying. We are dying. We cannot anymore. Please, I'm begging you as the Salvation Army officer. So it's not only the needs or spiritual need for the people, but also physical need. We need the road. We need water. Please, I am begging. I am crying every day.
The disgruntled residents and cabbies say their political representatives are missing in action. Now, TVJ News understands that the constituency is shared by 2 members of parliament.
We have no proper representative for Cave community. Even Dwayne Vaz come from Cave and him nah do nothing for Cave. We need him out here. We need him. We need Dayton as well. We can't put you in and sit down and comfortable in the parliament. We need to stay on the face in the Cave community.
We try Labour, right? We try PMP, now we're fed up because there's no representation in our community. So what we need this morning, we need road, we need water, because if you go up a Cave right now, not even donkey can pass up there.
Meanwhile, a member of parliament for Eastern Westmoreland, Dr. Dayton Campbell, says he has been making representation for the constituents. He noted that the road is to be fixed under the government's Spark program, but that there are hiccups.
The problem with the Spark program is that the government committed to the 10 roads with a limited allocation to the constituency and then went to do the estimates after. So the allocation to the constituencies is $300 million. And then when they went out to do the estimates, they're realizing that the Kentucky Road alone, the Cave to Kentucky Road alone, is $174 million, which would be more than half of the allocation from the constituency itself. And so that is the problem. I have been making representation for the road.
He says while he understands their frustration, the issue is with the government as there are financial challenges. Kimberly Petty for TVJ News.
this? As early as your 40s, you may lose muscle and strength. Protein supports muscle health. Ensure Max Protein has 30 grams of high-quality protein to feed your muscles up to 7 hours. So take the challenge. Ensure.